Hello everyone and welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to another 24/7 news report. The big headline news coming out today is that Everton have not been charged by the Premier League for the 23-24 PSR breaches. The only club at risk is Leicester City pending outcome of jurisdiction case. That's really good news to hear. I think a lot of fans were worried that this is a potential to happen again, us get another points deduction after it seems like the Premier League were really coming for the club's head, to be honest. There was almost a scene to make an advantage out of, and it's nice to see that they've won and that we're not going to get another points deduction right after Moyes comes in, because that had to been a real complication to the matter. Yeah, it's one where us not being sanctioned is a good thing. It means the club can just focus on getting as many points as possible and hopefully finishing up as high up in the league as possible without having to worry about maybe another 6 or 9 points being snatched off us out of nowhere. It is good to see. The only club being Leicester is not really a surprise. I think a lot of people thought Leicester got away with it because they got relegated, which is really weird that there was no punishment just because they were relegated. And then ever since they've come into the Premier League, it's not really been mentioned. It is a bit crap for Leicester and their fans because they haven't been the best this season. And of course, with Rude coming in, it's not probably been the best start that they wanted. But then to get a points deduction, we all know how that feels. But if we're going to be fair about things, if we've been punished, Leicester should be punished because it's a lot of the similar stuff to what happened to us, and they just kind of got away with it by going down. So it's unfortunate. This was all reported by Martin Ziegler, of course. The PSR deadline and punishments were due out this morning, and no Premier League club has got any, so that does mean that, of course, there has been no sanctions. Leicester is more possibility of one going after the jurisdiction case. Again, I don't know the most about this, I'm just reading what I have to say, but it's one of those where we will have to see how things go. It looks like we're off the hook, and I hope the best for Leicester. I know they're maybe seen as relegation rivals right now, but I think we should be doing a lot better than relegation, and I think it is weird to not have Leicester in the Premier League, to be completely honest, even though I do believe actually they are one of the clubs that tried to sue us when they did go down, actually, so I take it back. But the next bit of news to come out is that Italian side Como are in contact with Everton over the possibility of signing Beto, and that comes from Di Marzio. That's an interesting one. Como have also been linked with players like Marcus Rashford, while having Cesc Fabregas in charge. I believe they have some really rich owners, which is probably why they're getting linked to all these big players. And yeah, they can offer the wages, they can probably offer the money, but I think they're 16th currently in Serie A, around that area, and I think they signed Belotti, but I'm guessing Belotti's not really scoring the goals that they need. Let me just check. They're not really scoring the goal they need. Belotti, 2 goals in 16 Serie A matches. They probably need a lot better than that, to be honest with you, so it's one of those where I can see where they're going in for Beto. Hopefully this reignites the teams like Torino's interest, so we can get the obligation to buy fee up a little bit, which is something I think we desperately need. So as much money as we can for Beto. As I said last time I did a news video where we mentioned Beto, don't be surprised to see this Beto saga linger on, especially with the rumoured injuries now to Calvert-Lewin and the known injury to Broja. Moyes is going to need a striker, and I think Moyes does like a striker, the mould of Beto, so it wouldn't surprise me if Moyes wants to keep him around, but we will have to see how this news develops over the upcoming days and weeks. The next thing coming from the Newcastle Chronicle Live is that Everton are interested in Newcastle midfielder Sean Longstaff, and he is a target of this month's January transfer window. No. It's the simplest no. I have zero interest in bringing Sean Longstaff to the club, unless we genuinely paid less than like 3 million for him. I have zero interest. I think Ajusque's better. I think Aurel Mangala's better. I think James Garner's probably better. I don't think Sean Longstaff's a bad player as a rotation option, but there's just no interest. He barely plays any football, and I think he plays well under Eddie Howe, but I think a lot of players play well under Eddie Howe. I think it's one where midfielder, it should be one of the latter positions we're focusing on, and the midfielder of Longstaff's ilk should be even lower down the pecking order, and that's no insult to Longstaff. I think he's a decent player, but I think it's not a priority right now, and I don't think we should be looking at players of that ilk. If we're going to look for midfielders, we should be looking for replacements for players like Ajusque and Abdoulaye Doucouré. And I did mention on the last video when we were talking about Wrench from Ajax that these rotation options are really good to have, and to have more squad depth is always good. So I can see why he'd be interested, but it also would depend on the wages. Again, that's one where we'd have to see a lot more about the deal, but on the outside looking in, it's one where I'd immediately say no, because I don't think we benefit from it at all. And the last bit of news that comes out today is that Everton have appointed OCS, a global leader in facilities management, to provide integrated facilities management at the club's new stadium, Bramley Moor. Brutal honesty, don't have a clue what that means, but a global leader in facilities management always sounds good. It means the stadium's going to be run well. It means things are going to always be at tip-top, which you would expect from a brand new stadium that is meant to be one of the best in the country. But that is all for this video. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Everton Newsfeed, and follow me on Twitter at Callum Brannan3. And I'll see you all for the next video and or live stream that I am on. Goodbye, everyone.